she learned that we already had a meeting with the general without her knowledge, then there was a strict instruction that she gave to us to say, this case is too sensitive. Therefore, I would appreciate if you only give progress to me or to General Kumalo. Those were the only two people that were supposed to share any information where these cases are concerned, because even in the group chat, we never really said anything where this case is concerned.
Thank you, Witness B. In your statement, you then move on to the ballistics investigation. And at paragraph 41, you begin with the call that you received from Colonel Mukwena telling you about a telephone call from General Shibiri. Can you take the commission through that call?
Yes. I don't remember the exact dates, but it was between May and July and June, actually, early June. I received a call again from my Colonel Mukwena. He informed me that General Shibiri has called. He said that the report is ready, I can collect. And then I went to Ballistic together with other colleagues. I didn't go alone. And then we went there. On our arrival, we went to the office where the report is supposed to be handed, because there's a specific office. When we got there, we were told that we should wait.
Witness B, did you move away a little bit from the computer?
Your voice is fading, Witness B.
Can I try again?
Try again and just a little louder.
Okay. Between end of May.
Witness B, can you hold on 1 second? Did you make any movements to where you were sitting?
No.
Oh, no, it sounds better now. If you can proceed to your arrival and going to the collection office at the ballistic section.
Yes. I received a call again from my Colonel Mukwena, telling me that the general has called, telling me that the report is ready, I can go and collect. Indeed, I proceeded to the ballistic together with my two other colleagues. And then on our arrival, we went to the office where they issue the reports, only to find that they said, no, the report is not with them. We must wait for the analyst, of which he came, and then he told us, no, there's a mistake on the report, and then he needs to rectify it. Then he took us to his office.
Witness B,
where
before you move on to what happened at his office, do you want to identify the officer you were dealing with?
Yes, at the time that was Warrant Office Captain.
Thank you. And what happened when he took you to his office?
How do you spell that for the transcript?
Can you please spell that for the transcript?
It's M-A it's G-O-T-L-O-E.
It appears here.
There's KG.
Yes.
Yeah. It's M-A-K-G-O-T-L-O-E.
Thank you, Witness B. So you proceeded to his office?
Yes, we proceeded to his office, where in his office he was not alone. He was with another warrant officer. I just can't remember his surname, but as we talked there, I learned that is the same person that they attended the scene with at Vereeniging. So they started working now on the what was so-called rectification of the reports.
Witness B,
So
just
it
to
would look
clarify, the report that he said needed rectification, did he ever tell you what the rectification was that was necessary?
No, unfortunately, we were never privy to that information. And what we saw, it looked like the report had to be started all over afresh because of the time that it took to rectify. It took us almost an hour, if not more, given the fact that they were working on it, both of them.
And in your experience, is this normal?
No, well, that's first time in everything. In my experience, it was for the first time to have that, because sometimes we'll be the one identifying maybe mistakes and we go back and it's a matter of a minute or 20 minutes, and then they rectify just that and then we good. Or else they might be saying it's fine, we'll rectify, and then you'll get it from the ICDMS. This one, it was for the first time, given the fact that the reason why we visited it because of we were informed of the readiness of the reports.
And at paragraph 43, you explain that during this process of rectification, Captain Makhotle started to tell you information. Can you take us through that?
Yes, we had a very interesting conversation there in terms of why I'm saying it's interesting, because for me as an IO, there's nothing interests me like linking the cases through whatever investigation tool. So one of the things that were said there, they excited us to say, okay, we have more to on maybe, because maybe I should note to the commission that in the investigation we not only rely to those investigation tools like ballistic phones, blah, 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 blah. We also rely on information. It's worth noting that we already had information on certain scenes. As soon as the suspects were arrested, some people, they started giving information to say, look at that in this case, these people were involved there. That's what piqued our interest. And then when we have this conversation, it was like, okay, the informers, they were not lying. There's something here. So we had the conversation where we were warned to say you need to be very careful when you deal with these cases. They are of high profile nature, and it's extremely dangerous to work on because it involves people in high places. Well, at some point, because I always, when I get puzzled, I asked. I did ask. That's how I became to know that they were at the scene, both of them, because I said, you seem to know too much as an analyst, and you seem to know more than myself as an IO, as an analyst, where this case is concerned. And he said, no, I was at the scene. People were talking. Then, well, I understood that. I know when you are at the scene, you get to hear all this sort of information, because indeed people, they do talk.
Is the scene now the scene in Vereeniging or Bramley?
In Vereeniging, Commissioner.
Thank you.
But now, it's the part that I said it's interesting. Now he started to be specific to say these cases are linked to high profile. I noted, okay, high profile, meaning now you have an insight. This is not just anyone can say this. And he also mentioned that they also involved in the CITs, and like it piqued my interest. And as they were working on the report, and it took this long, at the back of my mind, without even asking, it was like, okay, they dealing with all this information that they're telling us about, only to find when we're done and the report is handed, like the mood was okay, the conversation was flowing. There was no reason for us to even suspect that we won't find what we are told in that report, only to decided to look at the reports, and the discoveries was, hey, what were those people were talking about? Because there's none of those in this report except the linkage between Vereeniging and Bramley, of which we anticipated, because from the initial investigation it was expected. It was just to confirm. There was nothing wow about that.
Witness B.
I thought maybe it's failing to read. Sorry?
Witness B, just before you go past this, you mentioned that they said the weapons were linked to CITs. Can you explain what that is?
Oh, that would be cash in transit.
Okay, and based on this information of high-profile cases and the likes, what were you expecting to see in the report?
I was expecting to see the linkages of the cases of CITs as stipulated, the cases where high-profile people were involved, as like alluded, but there was none of that. It was like limited exactly to what we already anticipated, and we were like having it at the back of our minds that the chances are these firearms are going to come back and say they are the ones that shot at Vereeniging, given the period of incident and when the people they were arrested. It was not really hard to think that is a possibility. But these other things, they were going to be a whole new information to us that we needed to investigate. But there was none to follow.
Witness B, so after you see the report and that it doesn't have the linkages that Captain Mahotle referred to, what did you then do?
I remember now. I think those linkages not being there, we went, and then we decided to consult further with our commanders to say we have this information, but we don't have this report. But before we even go there, I went back, because remember now, this is the discovery as we leave there. And then I went back on another day to say, hi, I'm puzzled. You told us about 1, 2, 3, but it's not here in the report. And to my surprise, when I come to make a follow-up, now I find the captain, he wants to pretend as if he doesn't know what am I talking about. He never have this conversation with me. It's like as if I have some sort of amnesia or so. And I was puzzled by that action. And then I went further to say, you can't do that to me, because I was not the only one here. Oh, it was 3 of us. You were also not alone. There was a second person in the room when this conversation was heard. And then he now said, no, I can only remember one or two. But the impression that he gave us, it's more. It's more. From that point, in my mind, I could see 10 plus. But now he says to me, I can remember one or two. Even that, it's not ready. I must speak to the IBs and stuff like that. And it was like more dismissing than me getting answers. That's what now prompted me to go to my commanders to explain this whole behavior and my frustration out of it. And then given the fact that I was information that I was sharing with my commanders that, look, we already have information of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's crucial for us to get the confirmation from the ballistic of this information. And now things are hinted to us, but we don't get any joy in terms of the report. Therefore, the brigadier said we must speak to the General Kumalo. And then General made a decision to say, okay, now that you're saying this, take these firearms to Amanzim Dodi for second opinion. That's what was it in actual fact, to see if what you were told about, they're going to tell you the same thing they.
And just for completeness, Witness B, when you say General Kumalo, who are you speaking about?
I'm still speaking about General Kumalo Mbuso.
And his position?
Let me say he's a provincial commissioner for the detectives.
Okay. And so you then had to take the weapons to Amazim Doti for further analysis. So when does this take place?
This happens on, it's sometimes in September. I'm trying to look on my paper when exactly the date.
Yes,
It was on the 12th. On the 12th.
Yes, and can you take the commission through this?
Yes, we went to KZN taking these weapons for the second opinion. And then when we got we already have the report that I'm talking about that doesn't include those linkages that I'm talking about. Just to show them why, what is the reason, I had to bring that report along. And then I was having an opportunity to speak to an analyst. And the analyst looked at my reports and he just browsed and he just picked up a problem already. He pointed me to say, okay, I hear what you're saying. And he was frankly telling me at the point to say, I understand that you want linkages, but at this stage, given the fact that all the exhibits are in Joburg, the only thing that I can do for you now is to check the mechanism of the firearms only. What you want here, I won't be able until maybe I'm instructed to go and get those exhibits and compare myself. Other than that, I can't give you any linkages except the mechanism. But however, when he looks at the reports, he was able to point out to me to say, but in this report, there's some sort of omission, because I see you have, in your exhibit, you have this exhibit in particular that was 15 cartridges, but in your results as to after examination, are they linking or not? It's not accounted anyway.
And Witness B, what is the implication of